The air in the hotel suite was thick with a scent that made Alex's head throb, a cloying mix of alpha pheromones that was not Caleb's alone. He had ignored the protests of Caleb's friends and forced his way inside, finding the man he was supposed to be building a life with tangled in the sheets with an Omega. Caleb, who had claimed to be on a business trip, now scrambled for a robe. The Omega huddled under the covers, clutching at his arm with a fearful whimper. Seeing Alex's bloodless face, Caleb's expression hardened. With a sharp gesture, he flung the Omega's hand away, his eyes blazing with a contained fury as he snarled for them to get out. The Omega stumbled from the bed, naked and bruised, the marks of a recent rut stark against pale skin. Alex turned away, stumbling toward the bathroom as a wave of nausea washed over him, the acrid taste of bile burning his throat. Caleb's friend tried to explain, his voice a frantic buzz in Alex's ears. He insisted that Caleb was only trying to protect Alex, that an alpha's rut was too much for a beta to handle. The excuse only made the sickness worse. Caleb rushed over, trying to rub his back, but Alex shoved him away with red-rimmed eyes, refusing to let a single tear fall. Caleb recoiled for a moment, his hand touching the cheek Alex had struck. He spoke with a strained voice, asserting that his actions were a twisted form of love, a necessity he endured for Alex's sake. Alex found the notion deeply, profoundly ironic and questioned if Caleb truly believed his infidelity was a kindness. Ignoring his resistance, Caleb pulled him into an embrace, whispering that Alex was the only one who had ever mattered. But as Alex's gaze fell on the fresh bite mark on Caleb's neck, the words felt hollow and absurd. Caleb promised it was the first and last time. Staring up at the sterile ceiling light, Alex felt a crushing weight of disappointment settle over him, drowning out everything else. In the days that followed, Caleb tried to placate him with a flood of expensive gifts, apologizing and begging for forgiveness. Alex remained silent. A week later, Caleb's friends took up his cause, complaining loudly that a beta like Alex was ungrateful. They argued that Caleb had been faithful for over a decade and that it was unreasonable to expect an alpha to suppress his biological needs. They sneered that Alex would never find anyone better and predicted that if Caleb gave him the silent treatment for a few days, Alex would come crawling back. Caleb, overhearing them, shattered a glass against the floor. His voice was dangerously quiet as he told them to shut up, that he would indulge Alex's moods no matter what, and that it wasn't their place to comment. In his eyes, Alex was merely throwing a tantrum. That was when the tears finally came, silent and steady, like rain from a cloudless sky. A call from his father brought a different kind of pressure. The ultimatum was clear: agree to the arranged marriage, or his grandmother's medical bills would go unpaid. His father had never approved of Caleb, having tried to push his own business connections on him for years, only to be ignored. With a heavy heart, Alex agreed. He told his father it was settled. Caleb, taking his friend's advice, tried a mixture of peace offerings and cold silence, certain that their shared history was an unbreakable chain. Alex sent him a single text message, stating it was over. Caleb, assuming it was just part of the drama, didn't reply. His father promptly sent him the contact information for Elias Thorne. They exchanged a few messages, and a meeting was arranged within days. Alex arrived 5 minutes early to the private dining room, but Elias was already there. From behind, his silhouette was a perfect inverted triangle, the fabric of his suit stretching across broad shoulders. When Elias stood to greet him, the lower half of his face was obscured by a custom-fitted bite guard. His eyes, a cool, intelligent gray, held a striking and distant beauty. He apologized, explaining that he was just coming off his rut. An alpha. Alex admitted his reservations, and Elias stated plainly that not every alpha was a beast ruled by instinct. Alex lowered his head, offering a sincere apology for his preconceived notions. Elias Thorne was the head of a global logistics empire, having only recently returned to the States. Rumors in financial circles painted him as an old, balding beta with a limp. The reality, a tall, formidable alpha, would have shocked the oars of Forbes. Elias passed him the menu. Alex ordered a few house specialties and then asked what Elias would like. Elias politely declined, indicating that it would be unwise for him to remove the guard in a public space. The casual statement struck Alex with surprising force. A top-tier alpha willingly restraining himself. It was a form of disciplined control he found incredibly appealing. He had once given Caleb a similar device as a gift. Caleb's friends had laughed, likening it to a dog's muzzle and asking if Alex was trying to publicly humiliate him. Caleb's face had darkened, and while he defended Alex's intentions at the moment, the gift was gone by the next morning. It had taken a week of Alex's apologies before Caleb spoke to him again. They ate in a comfortable silence, punctuated only by the soft sounds of Alex's meal and the quiet tapping of Elias's fingers on his laptop. Afterward, Elias offered to drive him home. As Alex buckled his seatbelt, he saw Caleb getting out of a car nearby, his arm around a new Omega, a popular young actor whose face was a confection of sweet smiles. The Omega stood on his toes to kiss Caleb's jaw. A familiar, unwelcome ache pulsed in Alex's chest. A decade of history couldn't be erased overnight. His father was a useless alpha who, after failing to produce another heir with a series of Omegas, had turned his frustrations on his only child, a beta son. Alex's childhood was a landscape of neglect and abuse. He was 7 when he met Caleb, hiding in the garden during one of his father's parties, stuffing his face with stolen canapes. Caleb found him, and instead of telling, he brought Alex more food from the main hall. Their friendship was forged in that shared secret, a bond that had morphed into something else entirely on the night of their 18th birthday, when Caleb confessed his love. Now, only 5 years later, the man who promised him forever had changed. Elias must have noticed the shift in his mood. He quietly passed Alex a handkerchief. Alex thanked him, murmuring an explanation about his ex-boyfriend and the recent infidelity. Elias's brow furrowed. He stated with cold clarity that Caleb was giving alphas a bad name, using biology as an excuse for a lack of self-control. The way he said it, like a CEO reprimanding an incompetent subordinate, made Alex laugh despite himself. Alex felt the need to be clear, stating that their arrangement was purely a business transaction. He assured Elias that if he ever met an Omega he truly cared for, he would understand. Elias pulled the car over, his expression turning serious. He looked directly at Alex and said that fidelity was a basic tenet of marriage. As long as Alex was his legal partner, he would never be unfaithful. He added that Alex was handsome and accomplished, and that the probability of him falling for Alex was far greater. He told Alex he should have more confidence in himself. Alex looked away, admitting quietly that he was just a beta. Elias immediately countered, asking what was wrong with being a beta. He pointed out that betas were among the most successful people in every field, and that Alex himself was one of them. He told him not to let his ex-boyfriend's toxicity define him. Things with Elias moved quickly. When asked about a wedding, Alex declined, seeing it as a time-consuming formality for a relationship without emotion. Elias respected his decision. They went to the courthouse on a day chosen for its good weather and signed the papers. Holding the marriage certificate, Alex felt a strange sense of unreality. A month ago, he had assumed the other name on this document would be Caleb's. Now, Caleb was with someone else, and Alex was legally bound to a stranger. Elias explained that the new townhouse he'd purchased near Alex's art gallery was still being renovated, a project he was personally overseeing after having the design team consult with Alex on every detail. Until it was ready, they would stay at his penthouse. Elias offered Alex the master suite, taking the guest room for himself. Alex protested, but Elias insisted. The apartment, he reasoned, was now marital property, and since Alex was the one being displaced from his own home, it was the least he could do. Dressed in simple white loungewear, a pair of rimless glasses replacing his usual aggressive aura with a scholarly gentleness, Elias seemed like a different person. A few days after settling in, Elias took him to choose wedding rings. Alex, feeling detached, was about to pick a simple band when Elias stopped him, suggesting they look elsewhere if he didn't love it. As they exited the Fifth Avenue jeweler, they ran into Caleb emerging from the boutique across the street, his assistant trailing behind with an armful of shopping bags. He looked satisfied. The lingering intensity of his rut finally faded. His gaze landed on Elias, and his pleasant expression curdled. He demanded to know who Elias was. Alex, looking at Caleb and remembering the Omega from the hotel, felt a fresh wave of weariness. The Omega at Caleb's side now clutched his arm, eyeing Alex with open hostility. Caleb brushed his hand away, his voice flat as he informed the Omega that their arrangement was transactional and that he shouldn't overstep. He nodded to his assistant, who moved to the Omega's side with the shopping bags and offered to call him a car. The Omega's eyes welled with tears, but he remained stubbornly silent. Caleb's patience wore thin. He told the Omega that his boyfriend would get the wrong idea. With a final, venomous glare at Alex, the Omega left with the assistant. Caleb approached, his demeanor shifting back to the familiar, gentle tone he used to use when coaxing Alex. He reached for Alex's hand, saying they should stop fighting. Alex sidestepped the gesture, a bitter smile on his lips. Seeing his empty hand, Caleb's face clouded over. Alex broke the tense silence, stating clearly that they had already broken up. Caleb denied it, his stare so intense it felt like a physical force. He insisted they had not. Alex reminded him of the text message he had sent a month ago, the one Caleb had never answered, along with his unanswered calls. Caleb had seen the message. He simply hadn't taken it seriously. He was still trying to reject the reality of the situation, wanting Alex by his side but unwilling to commit. As Caleb moved forward again, Elias stepped between them, his displeasure evident. He asked if Caleb hadn't heard Alex, that it was over. Caleb's anger flared, demanding to know what business it was of Elias's. Elias's voice was low and steady as he identified himself as Alex's alpha husband. The air grew heavy, an unspoken clash of pheromones suppressed only by the public setting. Passers-by gave the two confrontational alphas a wide berth. Alex broke the standoff, his voice laced with exhaustion. He asked Caleb what he truly wanted. He looked down on him for being a beta and refused to marry him, yet he wouldn't accept a breakup. He wanted to know what exactly Alex was to him. The question seemed to stump Caleb. After a long moment, he answered hoarsely that he genuinely loved him. Alex looked him in the eye and stated that he didn't want that kind of love, a love devoid of basic respect. Caleb scoffed, questioning how Alex could say he wasn't respected. He gestured expansively, claiming any one of the gifts he'd given Alex could buy a small apartment. A cold chasm opened in Alex's chest. So that was his definition of respect, something that could be bought and sold. In that case, what made Alex any different from the Omegas Caleb paid to service his ruts? Elias cut in, his tone sharp. He advised Caleb to go home and learn the meaning of respect, adding that if he couldn't, he should ask his mother for a do-over. The crowd was growing. Elias guided Alex away as security personnel approached Caleb, informing him that his pheromones were out of control and he needed to come with them. In the car, a slideshow of the past decade flashed through Alex's mind. He asked Elias if he thought he was a failure for wasting so much time on a terrible person. Elias told him not to be so hard on his past self. He had done his best, and he shouldn't negate the happiness that had once existed. The words landed like a warm compress on a long festering wound. His father had always demanded perfection. Being a beta was a source of constant shame for him, so Alex had to excel everywhere else. But even straight A's never earned him his father's presence at a school event. His own mother had married his father for money and left as soon as she was paid. His grandmother was his only source of quiet comfort, her eyes always filled with an unspeakable sadness. In college, his father forced him into business administration. After a year of misery, Alex secretly switched his major to fine arts. When his father found out, he threatened to break his legs, furious that his beta son would pursue something so useless. It was Caleb who had intervened, smoothing things over by telling Alex's father that Alex would be marrying into the family, and the family supported his passions. But in private, Caleb had chided him for being impractical, reminding him that for people like them, appearances were more important than personal interests. All his life, the refrain had been the same. Why couldn't you be more sensible? Why don't you try harder? No one had ever told him he had done well. That night, Caleb's friends posted on social media thinly veiled attacks calling Alex a thankless, backstabbing snake. The comments section filled with gossip and speculation. People who barely knew him chimed in, calling him a social climber, accusing him of using Caleb's money to find a new man, and cursing him for betraying such a good person. They twisted the narrative until Caleb was the blameless victim and Alex was the villain. Shaking with anger, Alex went to the bar where they were gathered. A group of them were laughing, one speculating crudely about what a beta like Alex had to do in bed to land a new alpha so quickly, his words dripping with malicious innuendo. Alex threw a glass of water in his face and asked him if he'd been eating garbage in the bathroom to have such a foul mouth. The man, a brutish alpha named Leo, recognized him. Alex reminded him and the others that their slanderous conversation was being recorded. Unfazed, Leo and his friends began to close in, sneering that no one in the city would dare to touch them. Just then, a group of security guards entered, flanking Elias, who walked in wearing a perfectly tailored black suit. He glanced at his lawyer, who had accompanied him. Mr. Davies nodded, confirming he'd heard everything, and served the stunned group with a cease and desist letter from one of the most feared law firms in the city. Leo's bravado evaporated. His friends whispered that Davies was a senior partner, famous for never losing a defamation case. Alex handed his phone to the lawyer, noting it contained video evidence of their slander and their attempt to intimidate him. Elias placed a gentle hand on Alex's head, telling him he was brave and smart, but that he needed to be careful. Back in the car, Elias invited his lawyer to dinner, but Davies declined, not wanting to intrude on their evening. Before leaving, he leaned in and whispered to Alex that he had done the impossible by making the infamous iron tree, Elias Thorne, finally bloom. Watching Elias from a distance, Alex felt a warmth spread across his cheeks. The three-person dinner became a two-person date. Elias's assistant had booked a table at a romantic restaurant, but Elias, sensing Alex's discomfort, offered to go somewhere else. His constant consideration was a balm. Across the table, Elias listened with focused attention, his handsome eyes reflecting only Alex. On the drive home, Elias took a detour. He explained that a new artisan bakery had opened nearby, and remembering Alex liked to keep sourdough in the fridge, he thought they could stop by. Alex was taken aback that he'd noticed such a small detail. The warm glow of the streetlights softened the sharp angles of Elias's face. Alex thanked him for paying attention to his life. Elias replied, with his usual sincerity, that it was his duty as his partner. Alex, feeling a playful impulse, teased him that he was putting a lot of pressure on him. Elias frowned slightly, as if facing a complex problem, and offered to have his assistant send Alex a list of his own preferences. Alex laughed, saying it was more interesting to discover things on his own. Elias mused that it made him sound like a lab rat. Alex smiled. Then be a good little rat. For a moment, they just looked at each other and laughed, the shared lightness clearing the lingering shadows in Alex's heart. Later, a call from Caleb shattered the peace. He dismissed his friend's comments as a joke and told Alex he was overreacting. Alex, furious, retorted that it was easy for Caleb to be dismissive when he wasn't the one being slandered. Caleb continued to defend them, claiming it was just talk. Alex cut him off, stating that he had tolerated their disrespect for years because they were Caleb's friends, but he no longer had any reason to. The lawsuit would not be withdrawn. He told Caleb that his silent complicity had enabled their cruelty for years. A month after their wedding, Alex accompanied Elias to a formal gala. It was Elias's first major public appearance since his return. They wore coordinating suits, Elias in a classic, powerful business cut, Alex in a more artistic design of flowing silk that complemented his features. When Alex emerged from his fitting, Elias stared for a full 5 seconds before looking away, the tips of his ears turning a faint pink. Alex smiled, complimenting how handsome Elias looked. Elias, his gaze darting away as if burned, mumbled that Alex looked handsome too. He produced a velvet box and pinned a brooch to Alex's lapel, explaining that their rings were still being custom-made. Alex then took the matching brooch and, looking up into Elias's eyes, carefully pinned it to his suit. He could hear his own heart pounding over Elias's steady breathing and felt a strange, fleeting impulse to see what would happen if he disturbed that perfect composure. Caleb, of course, was also at the event. The moment Elias stepped away to speak with a business associate, Caleb cornered Alex. He stated that he had thought about it and they should get back together. He claimed to understand now that Alex's marriage was just a ploy to make him jealous, and now that he was properly repentant, Alex could divorce Elias and they could start over. Alex, baffled by his logic, stated firmly that he would not be divorcing Elias or getting back with him. Caleb's expression hardened from confusion to fury. He demanded to know why, insisting he was wealthier and could provide a better life. Alex countered that not everything was about money. He could provide a good life for himself. Caleb then played his trump card, asking if Elias even loved him. The audacity of it made Alex snap. He told Caleb his love was as cheap as he was, and he wanted no part of it. Enraged, Caleb grabbed for him. Alex dodged and slapped him across the face. Stunned, Caleb touched his cheek, and Alex slapped him again. Utterly losing control, Caleb raised his hand to strike back, but his wrist was caught in an iron grip. Elias held him fast, then flung his arm away, sending Caleb stumbling back against a wall. Just as a furious Caleb lunged forward, a sharp voice cut through the air. Caleb's father appeared, his face a mask of fawning apology towards Elias. He stepped on his son's foot, hissing at him to behave, him that offending Elias would ruin their family. He then urged his son to apologize to Mr. Thorne. Elias corrected him, saying he was not the one who deserved an apology. Caleb stared at Alex, his jaw clenched, the words stuck in his throat. Under his father's frantic pressure, he finally mumbled a reluctant "I'm sorry." Alex, with a smile that didn't reach his eyes, pointed to a row of liquor bottles on a nearby bar and said that if Caleb wanted his forgiveness, he could drink every single one. Caleb's face went pale. Elias looked at Caleb's father and stated coolly that if he thought it was too much, he was welcome to help his son. Trapped, the father could only order Caleb to drink. Bottle after bottle, Caleb forced the alcohol down. His father's attempts to plead with Elias met with a stony silence. Finally, his father turned to Alex, appealing to their shared history. Caleb, his neck stiff with pride, slurred that he didn't need anyone to beg for him, that the last decade was a testament to his own blindness. After the last bottle, he collapsed and was carried out. Elias then led Alex to a quieter part of the venue, introducing him to Charles Bennett, a renowned art collector who owned several pieces Alex desperately wanted to borrow for an upcoming exhibition at his gallery. After making the introduction, Elias left them to talk. Alex passionately pitched his vision for the show, and Mr. Bennett, impressed, agreed to loan him the paintings. Throughout the night, Elias introduced him to several other influential figures in the art world, always stepping back to let Alex shine. On the drive home, Alex was dizzy with wine and success. The car braked suddenly, and he slid sideways, his nose bumping against Elias's thigh. He struggled to sit up, his hands fumbling against Elias's leg. Through clenched teeth, Elias told him to stop touching him, his deep eyes holding a dangerous glint. Alex, head swimming, insisted he wasn't. Finally managing to sit up, he thanked Elias, calling him a really good person. The driver chuckled, and Elias silenced him with a look. Another sudden stop sent Alex tumbling into Elias's arms. He was enveloped in the subtle, clean scent of wisteria, Elias's scent. In the days leading up to the gallery opening, Elias had to leave for an overseas business trip. Alex felt a surprising pang of disappointment. Elias had been instrumental in making the exhibition happen, and Alex had wanted him to be there. On opening night, just as Alex was closing up, Elias appeared, looking tired from travel but present. His sudden arrival felt like a jolt of electricity. Alex smiled, a real, unburdened smile, and gave him a private tour, explaining the story behind each piece. Elias listened intently, asking thoughtful questions. Later that night, Elias fell asleep in the passenger seat. Alex watched his peaceful face, moved by the knowledge that Elias had pushed himself to exhaustion just to get back in time. His phone lit up with a series of texts from an unknown number. It was Caleb, telling him not to get too comfortable, that Elias was only with him for the novelty and would surely seek out an omega for his next rut. He sneered that one alpha knows another, and a beta like Alex would eventually be cast aside. He ended with a magnanimous offer to take Alex back as a mistress if he begged. Alex blocked the number, his face a cold mask. When Elias woke and saw his expression, Alex simply handed him the phone. A dark anger settled on Elias's features as he read the messages. Elias dealt with Caleb, but the words had planted a seed of anxiety in Alex's mind. As Elias's rut approached, his unease grew. On the day it was supposed to begin, Alex came home from the gallery to an empty apartment. A bitter, familiar coldness seeped into his bones. Theirs was a marriage of convenience, after all. He sat on the sofa in the dark, feeling a vast emptiness. At 2 a.m, Elias's secretary helped a trembling Elias through the door. He was wearing the bite guard, and his body was rigid with strain. The secretary explained that Mr. Thorne's pheromone levels were unstable and required monitoring during his rut. He had intended to ride it out in a secure medical facility to avoid frightening Alex, but he was afraid Alex would misunderstand his absence and had insisted on coming home. The secretary placed a case of suppressants and nutrient fluids on the table and made a hasty exit. Elias came to Alex, his hand gently touching his cheek. He apologized for not explaining sooner. Alex shook his head, admitting he couldn't be of any help anyway. He started to get up to go to his room, but Elias stopped him, holding his face so he couldn't look away. He told Alex that he stayed away during his rut not because he didn't want him, but because he wanted him too much, and he was terrified of hurting him in a state of diminished control. The phrase "too much" struck Alex dumb. He asked if it was true. Elias nodded earnestly, listing all the things he admired. His looks, his talent, his resilience, his sharp mind. He said it was only natural that he would fall for him. A wave of emotion overwhelmed Alex. He confessed that he'd thought Elias had gone to find someone else. Elias pulled him close, his voice a low murmur against Alex's hair. Why would he look elsewhere when he had the very best at home? Alex buried his face in his chest, and Elias held him tightly. But then, Alex noticed the heat radiating from Elias's body, the way his muscles were coiled like steel springs. The scent of wisteria was suddenly overwhelming. He asked Elias if he wanted his help. Elias released him, his fists clenched as he fought for control. He asked Alex to bring him a suppressant. As Elias expertly injected the drug into his own arm, he told Alex to get some rest. Alex went to his room but couldn't sleep. He crept back to Elias's door and found him curled on the bed, clutching one of Alex's shirts, his hair damp with sweat. Seeing him in such pain, Alex's heart ached. He went to wipe the sweat from his brow, and the sleeping Alpha reacted instantly, grabbing his wrist. His eyes flew open, dark and primal, filled with a dangerous excitement as he stared at Alex like prey. Alex didn't pull away. Elias surged up, pressing him down onto the bed, his kisses hot and desperate. Just as Alex's lungs began to burn, Elias pulled back, his teeth finding the soft flesh of Alex's neck. He wasn't an omega. There was no gland to mark. A frustrated growl rumbled in Elias's chest as he bit down again and again, trying to claim what he couldn't. His pheromones, now in a chaotic storm, had stripped away his reason. He mumbled possessively against Alex's skin, his lips trailing a path of fire downward. Alex felt like a small boat tossed on a raging sea, and Elias was his only anchor. The night was a long, feverish blur. When he woke again, Elias was sitting by the bed, his eyes filled with profound guilt. He gently helped Alex sit up and offered him a glass of water, telling him he should have pushed him away. Alex reached out a sore arm and pulled Elias closer, reminding him that they were legally married. Elias looked down, murmuring that he had hurt him. A small smile played on Alex's lips as he teased him, saying his technique could certainly use some improvement. A deep blush spread across Elias's face, making him look flustered and young. Alex decided he much preferred this version of Elias to the stoic CEO. After that night, Elias moved into the master bedroom permanently. When his rut returned, he never lost control again. Back at the gallery, Alex overheard his staff gossiping about Caleb's family. They were under investigation for tax evasion, and their business was suffering. His own father's ventures were also mysteriously failing. Elias had quietly moved his grandmother to a much better private care facility months ago. Though they had only been apart that morning, Alex felt an overwhelming urge to see him. He drove to Elias's corporate headquarters. The receptionist greeted him with a warm smile, explaining that the boss had given instructions that he was to be brought up immediately upon arrival. No appointment necessary. Elias was in a meeting, so Alex waited in the private lounge attached to his office. He was still sore from the previous night and soon drifted off to sleep. He woke to find Elias working quietly at a nearby desk, wearing his reading glasses. The moment he stirred, Elias set aside his work and came to him, his eyes soft. He asked if Alex was hungry and suggested they go for lunch. The cold distance Alex had first seen in those eyes was gone, replaced by a deep, abiding affection. A warmth bloomed in Alex's chest. He looked at Elias and said, "I love you." Elias froze for a second. Then, a slow, brilliant smile spread across his face, transforming his handsome features. "I love you too."